You spend your money, it'll come back eventually. If all else fails, I can always marry rich, so then I'll be rich forever. How am I supposed to find something I actually want to do for the rest of my life if I don't like any job? There's not one job you can suggest to me that I'm gonna be like, oh my god, yes, I definitely want to do that for the rest of my life. Does it look like I want to get up at 6 a.m. every day for the next 60 years? No, I'm too pretty for that.
I know this might be a controversial take, but I don't understand what the problem is with waking up early. It's not hard to wake up early. You just go to bed earlier. A lot of these people have been ingrained to stay up all night. Of course you can't wake up in the morning, because if you wake up early, you're going to get maybe 2 or 4 hours of sleep. I mean, it's kind of funny that she says she's too pretty to work. And I'm sure she can find a guy who is going to support her, but it won't last long because he'll see how difficult she is to deal with, and he'll just dump her.
Well, I had a little surprise for Lucy when she landed in Texas, and it involves some of the on-the-job training with Texas master plumber Roger Wakefield.
Roger! Woo! If you don't know who Roger is, Roger Wakefield, look him up on YouTube, on any social media. He's a very hardworking guy, and he built his own plumbing business.
Dr. Phil here. Welcome to Texas. I understand that you just don't ever want to do a 9 to 5, especially a job where you get dirty. Awful lot of your generation is that way. They just don't want to get down in there and put in a day's work for a day's pay.
Please, Dr. Phil, I'm begging you, don't go into the whole boomer talking point of,
you lazy kids don't know what work is, and you don't want to actually get your hands dirty.
There's plenty of kids like that. I don't like when boomers lump an entire generation into that mindset of, you guys don't want to work. Remember, these are your kids and your grandkids. So if they have a problem, it's probably because you guys failed as a parent. So you cannot blame this on the younger generation. It's not entirely their fault.
But I've got an experiment I want you to do, because I'm going to hook you up with master plumber Roger Wakefield.
Hi.
Bro, Roger's already sunburned. He's been in the sun for 5 minutes and he's sunburned already. Come on, Roger.
I'm Lucy.
Lucy, I'm Roger. How are
Nice
you?
to meet you. I'm good.
Dr. Phil told me that you wanted to do some work today. But first, you're going to want to change clothes, okay?
I mean,
This looks more like
at least
this.
they gave her
Not like this for
coveralls.
me.
That was
We're
very
gonna
nice of
install a
them.
tank down here.
Most people don't have coveralls. They just wear the clothes they normally wear.
Some safety gear for you.
These do not match the outfit.
Okay, safety gear does not always match. This
She has her hard hat and gloves and glasses. That's good. Do you need a hard hat to dig? No, but
25 inches
it's good
deep,
practice to
okay?
wear it.
You want me to dig it?
Think you're okay with that?
I'll have to do it.
Okay.
See, she's actually willing to do it. That's good. Let's see how she does. 20 minutes later.
I think I'll stick to the gym.
Bruh. This is certified bruh moment. What? 20 minutes and you got 1 shovel's worth of dirt out? 100% this is edited to make it look like she can't dig. There's no way. There's no way. My kid can dig more than that.
So look at this other thing.
Sounds good.
See, we got a toilet in here. Okay.
Oh.
It's got a little clog in it.
Ew.
So all that, just pull it out by hand. That's what the gloves are for.
Okay, this is not even bad at all. All they did was put black dye or dirt and toilet paper in there. That is not the worst thing that I've pulled out of a toilet. I actually wish this was the type of stuff that was in toilets.
Can't even get anything else. It's good.
Are you ready to go ahead and fill out the job application?
No.
I'll tell you what, you really did pretty good today.
Well, thanks.
You did good
know,
today and they
right?
show
That
her
was my
digging.
number-
I'm curious of what the point of that scenario was. Did she ever say she didn't have respect for the people working in these jobs? Her whole thing was that she just doesn't want to work in general. I don't remember her ever saying she didn't respect the people who work. I mean, but that is good that she did that. And I think more people should be doing stuff like that just so they kind of understand what people go through in these type of jobs.
Lucy, you say the whole experience wasn't that bad, right? I mean, you got
Yeah.
something done.
Most definitely. It was a good time. I felt really good. I mean, I always had respect for blue collar workers, and I'm never going to be back.
Yeah, she just said she always had respect for him. And it also says that she doesn't want to work a 9 to 5. I've never heard of any construction worker starting at 9 o'clock. It's always 4, 5, 6, or 7. Maybe 8 o'clock at the latest if it's a certain time during winter or if a certain client doesn't want you in at a certain time. No such thing as a 9 to 5 in construction.
I think that if you can make money doing that and that's your passion, that's wonderful.
Yes, it does help to have a passion for what you do. I wouldn't say I had a passion for doing pipe fitting, welding, and HVAC, but I definitely enjoyed it. I don't know if it's what you call a passion. I have a passion for my family.
She was picking up that stuff out of the toilet bowl. Why would anybody want to go and do that for a job? With all the opportunities that we have nowadays, you don't have to do that type of work to make money.
If everything you do is just what you want to do, grow up.
This kid has the wrong train of thought. Why would you want to do that? Most things in life you don't want to do, you tolerate doing them. That's probably the key to life, is finding what you can tolerate. Because you're never gonna love everything or like everything, but you will tolerate most things. If you hate something, definitely don't do it. Don't get involved in it. But if you can tolerate it, that's fine.
That doesn't make any sense to me because we all have one life. Why aren't you going to wake up and do what makes you happy every single day?
You don't get to do everything you want to do every minute of every day. I don't want to listen to you prattle on about everything you're talking about
that's
every
100%
day.
fine. No, I know.
No, sometimes you do what you want to do. Sometimes you do what you need to do.
This kid's actually agreeing with Dr. Phil on a lot of things. Although Dr. Phil is right. You can't just do what you want to do. I want to get paid to drive around in luxury cars and live in a mansion, but that's not going to happen. You have to be realistic. A lot of people don't want to go to work every single day and bust their butt every single day, but they know they need to do that so they can make money to provide for their lifestyle or their family.
100%, but that's with everything in life. But why would you do something that you hate the majority of the time?
You shouldn't.
Who said that the tradesmen hate what they do? I know this is anecdotal, but I don't think I've met a single tradesman who hates what they're doing. Maybe they don't like it, but again, they tolerate it because it pays them well. Maybe there's a certain aspect about the job they don't like, but it's not like they hate what they're doing.
And there's a whole generation that hasn't learned that because their parents have made it possible for them to do just what they want to do.
I'm glad Dr. Phil brought up the lack of parenting when he talks about Gen Z's shortcomings.
Employers today say they'll do it themselves before they will hire somebody that's Gen Z. They say those are the ones they fire first, they hire last. They just simply aren't willing to do what they need to do to make a business work.
Okay, so he says they fire Gen Z first and they hire them last. And he says they're not willing to do what they need to do for the company. Maybe he's talking about that quiet quitting trend that was going around, but all that trend was people doing their job description. They weren't doing more than they were supposed to do. So let's look at this article by Newsweek. It says nearly 80% of hiring managers said they worried about Gen Z's lack of experience as a younger generation. Yeah, that's all hiring managers' concerns is lack of experience. That's why new workers, unexperienced workers, get hired into beginner level positions. Don't forget, the pandemic happened when half of the Gen Z generation was just getting out of school. They didn't have the ability to get a job because there were no jobs during the pandemic. Everyone was laying off everybody or furloughing them, and they were on a huge hiring freeze. So for a couple years, Gen Z had gone without having a job at all. The survey also found that 58% were worried about the generation's unprofessional attitude. I don't understand what that means. What do you mean unprofessional attitude? There are a lot of older people who for some reason get upset when you don't cater to their age. I think the yes sir and yes ma'am attitude and era has been over for a while. Even with millennials, like me, my age, we didn't really say a lot of that. I always tried to be respectful. But I'm not going to go around kissing your ass to be respectful. I noticed that each younger generation is a little more playful and goofy than the other ones. And I actually think that might be kind of a good thing to be less professional because we're all human. We're not robots. We need to be able to interact with each other like normal people. And I think a more casual attitude is the way to go. 63% expressed concerns that they were known to job hop. Yeah, because they see the data on job hopping and they notice that they can make more money faster by job hopping. Every single time I left a company to go to a new company, guess what? I always got a raise. Every single time I got a raise. Studies have shown that people who job hop compared to those who don't are actually better off than those who stayed. Because when you stay at a company, you get your annual raise of a few percent. When you job hop, you can double, triple, or even quadruple that raise percentage. The first time I job hop, I actually got a 40% raise. I don't actually blame Gen Z for wanting to do that because they're trying to make money, right? As a business owner, you want to make money, you want to make profit. As an employee, you're also trying to make money and you're trying to make a profit. And if you ask your manager for a raise and tell him you're going to leave for a better position, he'll probably give you a raise. And a lot of people might say, why didn't he give me the raise before? This is BS. I'm leaving anyways. Well, they're not just gonna go give you money for no reason. You have to actually ask. You have to push for it. The more they pay you, the less they make off your labor. So it makes sense that they're not gonna bring it up if you're not gonna bring it up. So it says by 2025, which is 1 year from now, roughly 30% of the global workforce will be Gen Z. The longer people hold off on hiring Gen Z, actually the worse it's gonna get. You wanna help them be good employees. That's your job as an employer, to help mold the young generation to be a good worker for you. And the longer people wait and the more people complain about Gen Z, the worse it's gonna get. I guarantee it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.